Okay, I found this Wordle whenever I was searching Tpack. I just Googled it and I found this, and I thought it was really cool because it has the technology, pedagogy, and content, but with technology, it has different technology pieces that you could use in the classroom, and with pedagogy, it has different strategies and methods that you can use to teach, and with content, it has different ideas of how you can show that you have an understanding of content and how your students can show that they have an understanding of content and what they need to know to have that understanding. So they need problem solving skills, they need vocabulary, they need stuff to be meaningful to them, they need higher order thinking, that kind of thing leads to an understanding of content. So using this and using the videos that we watched about what Tpack is and what SAMR is, to me, quality instruction for today's learner is a beneficial blending of technology with a teacher's understanding of content and the method or strategy that they choose to deliver this instruction. Obviously, if all of these categories are met, then we would find ourselves in the center of the framework that we looked at in the video. But that isn't always possible. You can't reach all three of these areas every single day, every single lesson. It's a lot of work, and it's just not possible. But in a real life situation, I think that I would say quality instruction takes place when there is an overlap between technology and content, or an overlap between pedagogy and content. I hope you guys noticed that I said content in both of those overlaps, because I think quality instruction always requires a deep understanding of content by the instructor. You can have great skills and great strategies to teach, but if you don't know the content, then you're just using these strategies for nothing. You can use really cool technology pieces, but if they don't relate to the content you're teaching and you don't have an understanding of that content and how it can tie in seamlessly with those technology pieces, you're just putting technology up for the sake of saying, yeah, I use technology. So content is the underlying piece that must always be present. You must always have an understanding of the content that you're teaching. You can't expect your students to gain an understanding of content if you don't have an understanding yourself. So that's really important to me. Looking at this and watching the video on Tpack, currently I think that I would say that my instructional practices fall under just the content area or maybe just the technology area. I haven't had a lot of practice on really blending beneficial and meaningful technology pieces with content. I know that content's super important, like I said that before, but the technology that I've used is the smartboard. I've used the PowerPoint. I've used the smart notebook. I've used YouTube. But I used that because you need a technology piece. I didn't look and say, oh, I could use a Glogster here. I could use kids making a Weebly. I could use a Wordle to get this going. I could use a Wordle of my students' ideas. So I didn't really blend these things together. And I think this semester is really teaching me that I can blend these things. I have the capability of doing this, and I have found tools that help me blend technology and content together. Also, I think my PDP is really, really helping me with the idea of Tpack, and I didn't know that until literally just now, but my PDP is finding technology tools that are useful in the classroom, but that also coincide with 21st century skills. And I think 21st century skills kind of fall into that pedagogy category. That's the strategies and the methods. You want students to think deeply. You want them to be creative. You want them to be financially literate. Those are the skills and the strategies that you want them to have, that you want to know, that you can employ into the lessons. But there's technology that helps you do that. There's also technology that blends with the content. And when you can use all three of those, when you can use those useful technology pieces to blend into those skills, those strategies that you have, but you can also link it to the content. You can give the content meaning in different ways for your students. That's what I'm kind of leading myself into and what this Tpack has really taught me. I think also looking at the Tpack, the teachers that I have observed, I think they would fall under the pedagogy and the content area combined, or maybe just under content or just under pedagogy. I haven't really seen a lot of the meaningful technology. Like I was saying, I've seen the YouTube videos, the Smart Notebook, the Word document, things like that, but I haven't really seen it blend into where, wow, that technology made this content meaningful, or this content blended very well with that technology piece. I kind of saw oh, we've got to use technology, so we're going to show a YouTube video. The Tpack framework, I think, is really, really cool, and I think it's something that we've talked about or we thought about, but we haven't ever really seen visually, or we haven't thought about the pedagogy side of it. And I think that the Tpack framework is a shape for shaping teachers and training teachers to be today's teachers, because we're teaching today's learners who need this technology piece, who need us to know the content that we're giving them. They see so much information, they're bombarded with information, but is it true? Is it factual? Is it something that someone truly understands and then they're putting out there for us to see? Or is it opinion? Is it biased? So today's learners need something stable. When we know our content and we can blend it with those technology tools that they're so accustomed to, and we can use that pedagogy, those strategies that we use to present that, to tie the technology and the content together, we're training ourselves to be today's teachers. We are using today's teacher skills to teach skills to today's learners. So I think that the Tpack framework will support a culture of changing my classroom because it's preparing me to be today's teacher. And it is also going to shape the way I plan instruction. I'm going to want to use technology in a way that it helps content, that it builds my content up. I'm going to want to use my strategies to coincide with that content so that, yes, I know this material, but how am I going to present it to my students so that they understand it as well? So this is what I've kind of learned about Tpack. I'm really excited to see where it's going to go, how it's going to lead me, and how it's going to change the way I teach and the way I plan. So thanks for listening, and I hope you guys learned something from this. I hope you related something to it, and I'm looking forward to seeing your ideas.